I think this kind of brings us into our next song, actually,
Okay.
too, because the next song on our list is Chelsea Morning by
Oh,
Joni
yeah.
Mitchell. And, I mean, for me, that's very much a personal New York song
Yeah.
because I listened to that. It's on Blue, right? I listened to that album.
No, it's
no,
not
it's
on
not.
I don't think it's actually, I think it's on her second record, or it was a single.
Oh, was it?
It's definitely sung to a Siegel era.
Okay. Well, I remember listening to Blue and then also listening to that song and maybe whatever album that's on a lot when I first moved to New York.
Yeah.
And I was living
Is it
in
on
the
Blue?
East Village,
It's not
and
on
I'd
Blue.
like walk
I don't know what
over
it's
to
on.
Chelsea.
I just read it yesterday. That's the only reason I know.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I believe you. I mean, it's too happy to be. It's like so.
Right.
It makes me happy. at
She
least.
referenced it as she thinks of it as one of her earlier works, and she said it was like her ingenue period.
Right, yeah, totally.
And yeah, I mean, she was actually
Her rebuffing David Crosby period.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, you could probably describe her entire career. But
And I'm by no means a Joni Mitchell expert. I just happened to do research relative to this song. But that she was the third person to perform the song. It was Fairport Convention's debut album, and then I think
she
Judy Collins did it,
Yeah,
and then
then
she
she
did
recorded.
it. So I don't really know how much of her career was songwriting before she herself became a performer. But this was an instance. Obviously, in that era, everybody was writing songs for everybody. So,
right.
Yeah.
Huh.
But yeah. I mean, obviously we've been listening to it, and it's bright and optimistic.
It's
and,
like one of the most beautiful songs ever written. I actually have a different Joni Mitchell song on my list.
Yeah, you should talk
but
about
from
it
a
now.
completely different era.
Right.
So this also just happens to be one of my all-time favorite songs, period. But Song for Sharon.
Yeah.
Which I include it because I actually. So in the song, she mentions taking the Staten Island ferry to Staten Island to buy a mandolin. It's like the first stanza. And I include that because I love that song so much that I literally did that. What she's talking about in the song, there's a store in Staten Island called Mandolin Brothers that is legendary. I mean, it is one of the greatest string instrument stores in America. And it's in this weird part of Staten Island that you would never otherwise go to. I mean, like, I don't know if there are unweird parts of Staten Island that you would want to go to, but you guys could speak to that more than I can.
We went all over it.
Yeah.
It's weird and fantastic.
But I literally was just like, I need to recreate this experience because there was a point in my life where I decided I wanted to buy a mandolin and learn how to play mandolin. This was before I realized that my fingers are way too sausagey for me to play a mandolin, and I failed in that endeavor. But I had a car at the time, and I could have driven to Staten Island to go to this store, and I was living in Brooklyn and decided, no, I'm gonna do what she did, and I took the subway into Manhattan, got on the Staten Island ferry, and took it to Staten Island, and then took like 3 buses and walked 15 minutes to get to this mandolin store, and walked in, and there was nobody in the store. It was like in the middle of the day on a Wednesday, and there was a guy that was working the store who was just like, "Can I help you?" And I was like, "Yeah, is this really the store with Joni Mitchell?" And the guy's like, "Come here."
Oh, you're
and it was this like old guy, and it turned out he's been running the store for like 50 years, and he pulls out like a big scrapbook.
Oh my
and
gosh.
just proceeds to show like pictures of him with like every great singer-songwriter. He's like, "Yeah, here's the picture of me and Joni when she bought the mandolin, and then she wrote that song about it." Or actually, I think what happened, this is going to sound like I'm making this up, but I think I walked into the store and he was just like working, and I picked up a guitar and I started playing Coyote, which is a Joni Mitchell song from the same record. And then I think he came over and he was like, "So, you're here.
You're here for the scrapbook, aren't you?"
Yeah. And I was just like, "Is there really, do you have evidence?" And he was like, yeah. Come here. And it was incredibly cool, and also incredibly shrewd, because then he managed to upsell me to like a $350 Gibson mandolin that I was just like, yes, of course I'm gonna buy this.
Right.
It's a totally necessary purchase.
Yeah.
And then I played it for like 6 months and sold it to a friend.
Right.